I'm not a very stoic person. This is like the first time that I've really just seen how tedious that hospital paperwork is to do sometimes. And I think that being human in medicine goes a long way towards helping your patients.
Child, when you're out on your own, a million miles from home, feeling the weight of the world on your shoulders. Child, don't forget who you are, don't lose your head or your heart.
There we go. How's it going, guys? Welcome back to another vlog. Now, this is going to be a little bit different than how we usually do things around here, but I'm starting my vlog right now, actually at the end of my 2-week elective in palliative medicine. This was my first 2-week elective in palliative medicine as a medical student. Now, I wanted to do things this way this time because I wanted to talk about some things that I don't really see talked about on YouTube very much, or at least in the medical student side of YouTube. Things like experiences with death as a medical student when you're in your rotations, or struggles with mental health, with everything that's going on. And I think it's really important to talk about, but I also wanted to find the most respectful way to talk about it because I know it is a really hard topic. Finding the right words were difficult at times, and filming after a long day at work was also really difficult because it was a pretty draining experience at times, but also very important and a life-changing experience. And I'm really glad that I had the chance to do it. But without any further ado or explaining myself further, let's get to the vlog. Here I am here at the hospital. It's about 8:30 in the morning right now. Normally the doctor that I'm working with will get here at around 9:15, maybe even a little bit afterwards. So the plan right now is to go inside. I'm going to be rounding on the patients that I have. So I'll be checking in with them, seeing what their current status is for today, what their PPS is, and then also seeing if there was any new things that happened last night or changes in their condition. So I am here at a brand new hospital. This is my first time being here for this rotation, and I'm on the palliative care floor. Normally my shift finishes at around 5 or 5:30. Sometimes we get out even a little bit earlier than that, so the hours have been good, but it is difficult. We're gonna go inside today, go check on my patients from yesterday. We'll see you guys in a little bit. I mean, if you guys want to know the truth, it's hard. It's hard. This rotation is hard. It's harder than I thought it was going to be. And it's very important, the work that these doctors do and the work that I do, and going in and being there for the patients in a time where they need you most, arguably, in a lot of instances. And I'm not a very stoic person. I get emotional when you guys message me sometimes. You just get a med school interview and I'm one of the first people that you message on Instagram, but that makes me emotional. When I go in there and I gotta have a difficult conversation with a family or the patient sometimes, and it's not just the one, but it's a few, and I'm on the acute palliative care unit. So although palliative care as a whole doesn't entirely focus on just the sickest of the sick patients, a lot of my patients, unfortunately, and I feel so lucky and so, I don't even have words for it when someone in a patient's family wants to share a very fond memory that they had of their loved one. So they just want to let you in on who this person was to them and some of the good times that they had together. That's very, it's special. It's a very interesting moment, and
makes me really appreciate being here. Wish I could be a little bit more descriptive for you guys, but when I'm in there, I am very, very good at keeping it all together, keeping the composure together. I know exactly what to say. I sound very professional too, but when I come back at the end of the shift, I do feel it, and it kind of does hit you all at once, and it's something you just gotta take home with you after.
See, now, what I learned in the first week being on palliative medicine, because this is my second week right now, is that if you go to work and you have a rough day, then you come home and it's like 6:45 right now by the time you eat dinner and everything like that, and you're tired, and you go straight to sleep. Then you just going to work, going to sleep, waking back up. That feeling of being a little bit down after a long day never really goes away. So I personally found that you got to do something when you come home that's not just studying. You owe it to yourself, you owe it to your patients to try and keep your own mental health up, and that's something that I've really been advocating for. Taking care of yourself, taking care of your mental health is an active process. It's not a passive process. You got to make time to do it, and start with coffee. Let's get moving. Baby girl.
Hello.
Hey, you.
It was going the wrong way. It's also a bit.
So I haven't had much time to get on and play video games very much, so that's my excuse, but I've been getting the worst teammates all night. Take a look at this. The medical student should not be carrying the team in any game. I don't care what it is. So one of the cool parts about electives is that we don't have final exams like we would for a regular core elective, but we do still have homework to do. Like for this one, they gave us some modules to work on throughout the 2-week elective. And tomorrow we're supposed to be coming in early so that we could do a 1 hour or an hour and a half of teaching about the different types of opioids and the conversions between going from hydromorphone to codeine or to fentanyl, for example. And I know some of you guys like it when I link the different things that I'm working on, and if you want to go ahead and check it out for yourself. So I'll go ahead and I'll link a resource in the description below if you want to see the types of homework that I'm doing tonight.
I mean, guys, listen, I've done 12-hour shifts before in different specialties, but something about doing 12 hours on palliative medicine just hits totally different. It's a totally different feeling. So I actually finished today at like 6:30, but then I had to stick around to do the longest dictation of my entire life so far. It was easily an hour and a half, and then probably another half an hour beforehand just to make sure that I was actually inputting all of the right information. And this is like the first time that I've really just seen how tedious that hospital paperwork is to do sometimes. There's so much more involved with care than actually just seeing the patient and doing the medicine, unfortunately, because I think that's something that not a lot of people actually get to see until you get here. But I promise, guys, that hour and a half to do that dictation, and imagine if I had stacked on like 2 or 3 or 4 of those, I don't know what time I would have ended up leaving the hospital tonight. It gets pretty intense.
All right, guys, it's Saturday today. I just got back from my last day at the hospital, and I'm done. I'm totally done the elective. So in total this week, I ended up doing Monday to Saturday. So it was 6 days on, and I was probably at the hospital for between 52 and 55 hours in total. So I think I just want to end up today's video by talking about a few of the things that I learned on this elective, and then just like all my other videos, talk about some of the good things and the bad things about the specialty in general. Now, I don't think that this is limited just to doctors, medical doctors, or medical students, but I think that anyone that ends up working in the healthcare profession in general tends to end up a little bit closer to the concept of death, and especially people that are really sick in general. And it's something that you're going to have to get used to if you want to make this something that you're going to end up doing. On the other hand, though, if there's one thing that I learned about myself during this rotation, it's that I never want to end up in a situation where I am numb to the concept of death, where it doesn't bother me even a little bit all the time, because I think that part of being human is being able to relate to other people, and I never want to be in a situation where these things that happen are just statistics and just things that you deal with on a day-to-day. And I think that being human in medicine goes a long way towards helping your patients sometimes. And that's actually going to flow into the best part about this specialty for me, which is that when your patients need you there the most in these cases at the end of their life, or when they're struggling with a chronic illness or a life-limiting illness, you're able to step in and make a big difference for these people at a very crucial moment. On the other hand, though, the worst part about the specialty for me by far is that it really is a heavy burden to hold going into work every single day and taking on all of this emotional connection to your patients and their situations and learning their stories. And I could definitely see how, listen, even for me in the last 2 weeks, and there's a lot that's been going on, right? Everything's closed, Ontario's back in lockdown. But when you have a situation where I was just going in every single day and you do so much when you're there and you come home and you got to study and things like that, and you just go back and you take on even more problems and things that you've seen during the day, it really becomes heavy and difficult for you to go about doing other things that you also need to do as well. So I guess what I'm really trying to say is that palliative medicine is definitely emotionally draining and something that's, it's not for everyone, but it is a very important specialty. I hope you guys learned a little bit of something today. I know I certainly did in the last 2 weeks that I was here. Next, I'm back on emergency medicine. That starts Monday, so the day after tomorrow. It's Saturday night right now. I'm going to enjoy tomorrow. I'm going to take the day off, kind of find my way back to maybe a proper sleep schedule, and then I'll see you guys all on the next one. So thanks so much for coming by this time, and everyone take care.